much fun. Good looking car though. Yeah. Good looking car though. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Enjoy. Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, you can tell if it's covered in the garage. Yeah. Yeah. You know, it keeps it looking good though. Oh, sorry. I have a 1993 little Mustang. Thank you for your service. Yeah, thank you.
Put oysters in there.
Well, I made movies, but I want to write.
Right there.
All right, Edmund, just as a reminder to our listeners out there, we're in the studio today together. This is kind of a fun, different sort of environment. Usually I'm sitting here in the control room with all the buttons and you're out there with the microphones, and now we're here all together in the same room having a great conversation about really something really important, 10 things that can ruin your retirement. Some serious pitfalls when it comes to preparing for your retirement and actually looking at things from a perspective of longevity and living as long as you can with the least amount of stress as possible. Before we get back to that, I want to get back to our list. Before we do, let me go ahead and remind folks the phone numbers. So if you give you a call now or any day of the week to get your complimentary Safe Money book and Safe Money information kit, you can call Edmund now or any day of the week at 844-306-SAFE. That's 844-306-7200. free. And just as a reminder, we're not going to get to all 10 of these items, but so far, Edmund, what you've been mentioning is we want to avoid getting into too much debt before we retire or on our way to retirement. Also, we want to be careful
Yeah,
about
like the
how
Warriors
long
jersey over there,
we're
that's
going to
hot.
live. We're all living a lot longer these days, and we really want to be prepared for the best case scenario where we're going to live as long as we can. What's the third item on your list here?
So, because we're as healthy as we are these days, in the past, I talked about the fact that age 65 is sort of the target. And boy, if I can make it to age 65, then I could stand down and not have to worry about working any longer. But what we're really discovering is there's two aspects to this. The first one is that when people are healthy and they're engaged in activities that they really enjoy and love, those things actually support their being able to live longer. Mm-hmm. They're vital, they're still active, and this sort of thing. So many people are working a lot longer. So this idea of, well, I'm going to retire at 50. I'm going to hit the lottery or, cash in all my stock options and then I'll just not have to work anymore at age 60. Well, those may be good ideas for a very small number of people. The average person has to really determine if I'm age 67 and obese. We talked
Damn,
earlier about
Warriors jersey.
determine how we're going to earn money. Those jobs continue. And those ways to earn something to supplement their income and that sort of thing. So we want to really pay attention to that there is no hard fast rule about when people should retire. And in fact, people, because we're living a lot longer, are actually working.
Well, it's interesting because I think the change in the work environment has a lot of people doing things that they like to do from home, for example, and they're being creative and creating their own businesses in a lot of different ways. And I think that the idea that we find purpose in our work, and that's what I think gives us more of a longevity when it comes to just staying alive. If we're sitting around doing nothing, it's there's not much purpose in that. So that I think is part of the equation when you're thinking about when will I start retiring and what kind of side hustle or part-time gig could I do. I'm sure there's stats, but I think we've talked about them before, is how long people are working and how many people are actually having to go back to work because they've sort of miscalculated that the equation of when they can retire versus how much they've got saved up. Mm-hmm. And I think part of that is what you were mentioning earlier is the guaranteed income. I mean, that's such an important point that a lot of people don't really consider when they're planning for retirement.
Yeah, so many people have given up on the idea that they'll ever have a guaranteed income, in other words, a pension. Mm-hmm. And so this allows you, as you say, to extend the amount of money you save. And you can supplement that with ways to continue to earn. And also, as you said, we've become more vital and have a better ability to enjoy life because we didn't just go sit on the couch.
Right. Well, here, let's give out that phone number one more time because what I want to do is give us a little preview, and actually we'll talk about the fourth item as well, but I'd like to give us a preview of what else is on the list so that people can give you a call and get some more information on how this info might apply to their specific situation. You can call Edmund now or any day of the week to receive his Safe Money book and Safe Money kit at 844-306-SAFE. That's 844-306-7233. Now, so far, I'm sorry, go ahead, Edmund, do you have something?
Well, I just want to make sure people know that I'd love for them to have the Safe Money book and the Safe Money information kit. And this report is also something that I'll be happy to share with people.
Oh, great.
So if when they call me and when I sit down and meet with you, we'll go over all of the 10 ways that people sometimes make mistakes prior to and in retirement. And so there are a number of resources that are available for people who we work.
Great. You know, it's worth mentioning that the value of having an expert like you review this sort of thing with someone, it's just incredibly valuable to have the perspective of somebody that does this on a day-to-day basis that has helped so many people over the years to discover the things that we don't even know we're not thinking about. So that's why I would encourage people to definitely give you a call. And one more time while we're at it, let's get that number out. You can call Edmund now or any day of the week at 844-306-SAFE. That's 844-306-7233.
This is Edmund G. Brown, your host of Safe Money Radio. I'll be right back after this informative message.
What do you do in the morning? Do you spend the time with your first cup of coffee looking at the newspaper or watching financial news? How would you like to get that part of your life back? Our clients spend more time enjoying their retirement than watching their money. Wouldn't you rather enjoy your mornings instead of filling them with the stress of the markets? Call us now and we can show you how to sleep at night without worrying about market risk and outliving your retirement money. Our phone number is 844-306-SAFE. That's 844-306-7233. You're listening to Safe Money Radio with your host, Edmund G. Brown.
Welcome back to Safe Money Radio. I am Edmund G. Brown, a Safe Money retirement specialist.
Let's go ahead and touch base on the fourth item on your list here.
Sure, and this may be our last item on the list for today.
Sure.
And we'll continue this conversation in the future, Shane. And once again, I so enjoy being able to have these conversations with you.
Definitely.
We are in a culture that doesn't quite understand the value of having insurance. So lots of times the only insurances we think about and have is our automobile insurance. Well, if we get cracked up on the freeway, we want to make sure somebody can replace our car.
Right.
And if we have a home and we hope that we don't have a kitchen fire and someone has to come in and do a remodel. Because, and so we're going to have those kinds of insurances. But it's so interesting to me that average person, statistics show that in America, only about 40% of people have any other type of insurance. And these are some of the most valuable insurances that exist. If I am still in my early working years, and let's say we have a couple and a couple of young kids, if one of those folks can no longer work because they're either incapacitated, or they have passed away, how are we going to maintain the standard of living for our family? And this is where insurance comes in, because we've often heard of this business of other people's money. Well, that's what this really amounts to. When I can use 10 cents on the dollar, 20 cents, 30 cents on the dollar to create an income stream or a lump sum of money during these difficult times, there's nothing better. But of course, I have to take more of time to put those kinds of insurance policies in place. The other aspect is that when we were talking about retirement, which is what we're talking about in this conversation, most people just think about insurances for after somebody is dead. But what we know now is that the industry has changed tremendously. And so there are so many ways to use insurance policies to grow money for our own retirement so that we can start to have some of that guaranteed income that we're talking about. We can look forward 5, 6, 8, 10, 15, or 20 years, and we will be able to see that we can have another income stream that, in addition to our Social Security and the money we may have put together while we were working, we could have an additional income stream that could cause us to have something that people talk about all the time, which is financial freedom.
Well, definitely worth giving you a call. So if you've got questions about Edmund's list here, there's 10 items on there. We've only gone through the first 4. And just as a recap, let me go through those again. The things to avoid that could ruin your retirement. Edmund talked about having too much debt, underestimating how long you're going to live, retiring too young, and not having enough or the right type of insurance. Those are just the top 4. And if you'd like the rest of Edmund's top 10 list, please feel free to give him a call now or any day of the week at 844-306-SAFE. That's 844-306-7233. Now, before I read my fancy outro here, Edmund, I just want to thank you for coming in again. It's been great having you in the studio.
Well, it's always a pleasure, Shane. I hope that the listeners have learned some things in these conversations. My primary goal is to give people the information they need to make better decisions.
Definitely. That's what's so good about having you in is you do have the heart of an educator, and you're really not trying to sell anybody anything. You're trying to help people understand how this all works and, be of assistance where you can. So let me give out that number one final time before I do my fancy announcer thing here. Edmund is available now or any day of the week at 844-306-SAFE. That's 844-306-7233. You've been listening to Safe Money Radio with your host, Edmund G. Brown. Find out how to contractually guarantee that your hard-earned money is safe while avoiding market loss so you can have the retirement that you deserve. Call Edmund G. Brown now for your complimentary Safe Money book and Safe Money information kit at 844-306-SAFE. That's 844-306-7233. And thank you again, Edmund. Appreciate having you here in the studio.
Thanks, Shane, and look forward to our next conversation.
Definitely. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening.
Safe Money Radio, your money safe now.
The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Surrender charges apply to base contracts. Optional lifetime income benefit riders are used to calculate lifetime payments only and are not available for cash surrender or in a death benefit unless specified in the annuity contract. Fees may apply. Guarantees are based on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the insurance company. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified and licensed professional. Obviously, by calling us now, you are just taking the first step towards protecting your retirement. It's important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Rates and returns mentioned on this program are subject to change without notice. SRN News, I'm Michael Harrington in Washington. Federal authorities offering a reward for information about those responsible for igniting a pair of New Mexico wildfires that killed 2 people and destroyed hundreds of homes. The FBI on Saturday announced a $10,000 reward for information in connection with the South Fork Fire and the Salt Fire in southern New Mexico. Those forced thousands of people to flee. Rain and cooler weather have helped the fires gain ground on the blazes near Rodiso. Officials have urged the public to be aware of downed power lines, damaged water, sewer, and gas lines, and other things that could start fires. Floodwaters meantime forcing people out of their homes in parts of Iowa after weeks of rain. Sirens blared early this morning in Rock Valley. Hundreds of homes there had to be evacuated near the swollen Rock River. This is SRN News.
Streaming now at 860AMTheAnswer.com and the Odyssey portions of our programming may be pre-recorded.
When the market goes up, you go up. When the market goes down, you don't go down. Safe Money Radio, your money safe and sound.
Welcome to Safe Money Radio with your host, Edmund G. Brown. Edmund G. Brown is a retirement and income specialist, primarily serving the Bay Area, but he's sought after nationally for his expertise in helping people secure their retirement. Mr. Brown is a licensed life insurance professional in the state of California, and he specializes in working with people who are near retirement and those who have already retired with wealth management, income planning, and asset protection strategies. And now, here to talk with you about securing your retirement, your host, Edmund G. Brown.
Hello, this is Edmund G. Brown, your host, welcoming you to Safe Money Radio. I'm an asset and retirement protection specialist and your one-stop source for capital preservation and strategic income planning. Keeping track of borrow from markets is not fun if you're trying to protect your retirement savings, and it can be challenging to enjoy your golden years when it constantly feels like you're well protected. I'm passionate about showing you how to use the very best strategies for your peace of mind and protecting your retirement money. I am not talking about making you rich here. If you are at or near retirement, thoughts of striking rich in the stock market shouldn't be your priority. I am talking about gain and retain, building up your retirement in a predictable and dependable method that provides you with retirement money that you can never outlive.